Hello and welcome to the best tips and practices to pass the TOEFL IBT test. This is a presentation in which I am going to try to tell you all these best practices to pass your exam and to get the score you need. So, first of all, I can talk about understanding the TOEFL IBT format. If you are going to take the TOEFL IBT, you clearly need to understand the format. You need to have a sections overview because it means you need to understand the kind of questions and the divisions for this exam. So we have reading, listening, speaking, and writing, and each section has its own format. So, before you take your exam, you want to study this part very carefully. Then, you want to think about the time limits. Each section, reading, listening, writing, speaking, has some time limits that you must understand so as to proceed effectively in your exam. You also want to familiarize yourself with the question types. You want to know the question types in this exam, and you also want to learn the strategies to effectively address these questions, to pass them with the best score. Then, we can talk about building your English skills. Hey, this is an English test. So what you want to do is build up your English skills required for your exam. So we can just start talking about reading skills. Yes, familiarize yourself with journals, articles, newspapers, and most importantly, think about academic pieces of text, essays, and other kind of text that use very formal English. This is going to be the first step. You're not going to read a letter to a friend in this exam. You're not going to read something informal. You're going to read something very formal. So this is going to be your first step. As for the listening skills, you can practice and probably enhance your listening skills by listening to podcasts, TED Talks. I wouldn't say movies help here, because in movies or series, what you get is mostly informal English. But then you're going to listen to, for example, in the TOEFL test, a professor. You're going to listen to a professor. This professor is going to be teaching a lesson or the lecture. And then you're going to be listening to this kind of English, and you are going to understand it has little to do with the English you learned in, let's say, Friends or the Big Bang Theory, or let's say all these series and programs that you watch. I'm saying it is good to learn English overall, but for the TOEFL test, please think about more formal listening. Then we have speaking, and for the speaking skills in the TOEFL test, I want you to think about this. You are going to speak, but you're going to speak as if you were a university student. So you're going to give opinions of university changes. You are going to, let's say, summarize what the professor talked about. You are going to express your opinion, but again, using language which is too informal wouldn't benefit the score and your performance overall, because this is a university English test. So if they ask me a question and I answer something like, oh yeah, I like to hang out in my hood with my buddies, walk around the streets and do this and that, my thing, that would be a very different approach because this kind of language is too informal. But then if I rather say, in my free time, I prefer to spend it with my friends. We usually go get some ice cream, and I like to just go to a park and then enjoy a nice afternoon with my family. That would be a, let's say, different way of presenting information, which is more suitable for the TOEFL test. Then we have the writing skills. And for the writing skills in this exam, you want to think about presenting reports from something you read or listen, and also presenting your opinion. So, you must understand there is an integrated writing exercise which you will learn very well, but then think about the formality of presenting this and the steps of doing it. Something you will learn in EnglishGain.com in the course TOEFL IBT. Then I can also talk about the practice and test-taking strategies. Test-taking strategies means this. This exam is something you take on a computer, something you can even take from your home. You can take it at an academy, but then think about this. First, I want you to think about practicing as much as you can is going to help you get your score because you're going to somehow mechanize these ways to proceed in the test. So, EnglishGain.com offers the TOEFL IBT practice test exercises and examples that you can access. You can access them, and you can access and you can study them on your free time with me, and learning all these strategies is indispensable for passing your exam. Time management is important. This course at EnglishGain.com fits your schedule. If you can study in the afternoon, in the morning, at night, at noon, on the weekends, you can manage your time because studying and managing your time is crucial in this exam, okay? Typing skills. In this exam, you want to type well because I would say they will give you 10 or 20 minutes. So what you want to do is type as fast as you can so as to gather all the information and do it on time. I would say you want to practice typing skills, your typing skills. Consider visiting web pages related to typing. And if you don't really know much about typing, I would, let's say, advise visiting or getting some software about typing because typing really matters in the TOEFL IBT. Test-taking strategies also have to do with note-taking. Think about the best strategies to take notes, which I can also share with you. In the course at EnglishGain.com, you will see how I take notes. You will check and understand, like let's say, approaches to take notes. And you will be able to follow them and then to use them yourself to see how your information comprehension and reception improves as you take better notes. Then finally, I can just tell you about this. For the test date, remember, you have studied, you know what to do, you know the steps to take. So You just want to understand that by studying consistently, you are going to be able to mechanize these steps. And by doing it, you will feel better. You will feel less anxious or stressed. About using technology, you can use EnglishGain.com as a website to support your understanding and improve your skills in the exam. Again, the anxiety is reduced when you know what to do and how to do it. And the scoring in the exam, it's important because maybe you can just plan ahead and say things like this. I need, let's say, 80 points. The top of this exam is 120. But then you may say, speaking, listening, writing, and reading are 30 points maximum. Okay. If I need 20 points in each section of the test, but I didn't do well in speaking because I only got 15, but then I do well in writing and I get 25, I will be compensating. And this is going to help you since you have familiarized yourself with the scoring of the TOEFL test. And of course, this is probably the best thing. You're going to arrive early on the test date if you're going to take it at an academy. If you're at home, you're going to get ready probably 30 minutes before the exam, and you're going to be sure you follow every single instruction. And probably this is the best I can just tell you for now. Remember, you can access EnglishGain.com to study and prepare yourself for the TOEFL IBT at an affordable price and with the best help possible. I really hope you learned something from this video, and I hope to see you later on in the TOEFL IBT preparation course. Bye-bye.